there's something unusual happening inside. One of those silent moves that don't appear in official club statements, but that make every sharp-eyed fan raise an eyebrow. We're not talking about generic rumors or empty speculation. This time, there are strong signs that a European football giant is working behind the scenes, directly to pull off something that could change the course of the season, and maybe even Newcastle United's future for years to come. The big question is, can the Magpies resist? The mood at St. James Park is one of quiet tension. It's that calm before the storm, where every movement is closely watched by the board, the coaching staff and, of course, the fans. After all, we're talking about one of the most valuable and iconic players in the current squad, and all signs suggest that this player has now become the #1 target of a rival that's not only historic, but also highly skilled when it comes to negotiating behind closed doors. For now though, it's all happening away from the spotlight. While the papers focus on confirmed signings or speculation around midfielders, there's a much more sensitive and serious development unfolding. And if you've been following this channel, you know when things go quiet behind the scenes, it usually means something big is on the way. That's exactly why this video is essential for every Newcastle supporter who wants to understand what's really going on. Take this chance to subscribe to the channel now. Your support helps us keep delivering reliable content straight from trusted sources, always with clarity and responsibility. Over at Anfield, the conversation started quietly, but in recent days there's been a noticeable shift in tone. A highly reliable source, none other than Fabrizio Romano, revealed that Liverpool have made a direct approach to Newcastle to express their interest in opening talks, and we're not talking about any ordinary deal. This could be a record-breaking move in the history of the Reds. The terms potential £120 million offer, according to David Ornstein from The Athletic. Yes, you guessed it. The man at the center of this potential market bombshell is Alexander Isak, the Swedish striker. One of the key figures in the Magpies' recent rebuild is Liverpool's top target for this transfer window. And this is no informal inquiry. It's a serious attempt, with big numbers on the table, backed by Onslaught himself, the Reds' new manager, who's made no secret of his admiration for the player. He even described him as an unbelievable threat. And anyone who follows the Premier League knows that Slot isn't exaggerating. Isak, in fact, has a strong record against Liverpool, 4 goals in 6 appearances, including a brilliant strike in the 3-2-3 draw at St. James Park, before the Carabao Cup final. Slot commented, "He's a huge threat, with pace and intelligence on the ball." It's no surprise then that since joining Newcastle, Isak has become one of the most respected forwards in the Premier League, scoring 62 goals and providing 11 assists in 109 matches. But what does this mean for Newcastle? First of all, losing Isak would seriously disrupt Eddie Howe's plans. The Swede is a key technical and emotional figure in the squad, and despite the size of Liverpool's potential offer, it's still below Newcastle's valuation. The club reportedly sees Isak as worth over £150 million. In other words, even with the Reds' approach, the Magpies are expected to stand firm and be very strategic. And here's where things get even more complex. Newcastle are already working behind the scenes on a new contract for Isak, one that would include a significant salary increase and performance bonuses. The club's aim is to make him not just a technical reference but also a central figure for the project's identity. The message is clear. They want to shield him not just from Liverpool but from any European powerhouse looking to lure him away with a mega deal. By the way, if you're enjoying this deep dive analysis, take a second now to subscribe to the channel. Your subscription keeps this project alive and helps us continue bringing you accurate updates, sourced from people like Fabrizio Romano and The Athletic. We're here to deliver real football journalism. No hype, no exaggeration, just honest coverage of everything happening at Newcastle United. Back to the market. While Liverpool are still figuring out how to fund such a deal, which would likely depend on selling Darwin Núñez to Napoli, Newcastle aren't standing still. The club remains active on other fronts and, according to behind-the-scenes reports, considering bringing in another forward. One name that keeps coming up is Hugo Aketic from Eintracht Frankfurt, but it's worth noting, he's not seen as a replacement for Isak, but rather a partner to strengthen the attack. The strategy is crystal clear. Even in the face of a potentially record-breaking bid, Newcastle are keeping their feet firmly on the ground. Holding on to Isak is more than a football decision, it's a statement of intent. The fans know it, the board knows it. That's why any move involving the Swedish striker will be handled with extreme care, thorough analysis and, above all, with the club's long-term vision in mind. There's no room for reckless decisions at St. James Park. And what about you, supporter? What do you think of this whole situation? Should Newcastle do everything to keep Isak, or do you believe a sale at that price could be wisely reinvested in the squad? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your opinion is always welcome here on the channel. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time to join our community. Here, we cover every behind-the-scenes detail, every twist and turn, and every strategic move of our beloved club. For now, this saga is just beginning. But from the looks of it, it's already shaping up to be one of the most intense stories of the transfer window. Fabrizio Romano rarely misses, and if he says there's been direct contact, you can bet something real is happening. The only question left is whether Newcastle can hold on to their No. 14 and with him, the bold project that's been taking shape since 2022. In the meantime, we stay alert, because as you already know, when silence takes over the corridors of St. James Park, usually means major decisions are being stitched together. And here, on this channel, you'll always find the most complete and trustworthy coverage of everything related to Newcastle United. So if you want to keep receiving this kind of content, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications and join us for every twist in this story. What's coming next could change everything.